Indians, niggers, same thing.
In 1035, the caliphate collapsed from within, and the great power of Islam was divided between all kinds of small little kingdoms, which we call the kingdoms of taifas.
The Christian nobility in the north immediately took advantage of the fractured Moorish states.
They were strong enough to survive the continuous struggle between each other, but not strong enough to support or to withstand the Christian efforts to blackmail them.
Alfonso had long depended on tribute payments from Toledo. Fearing insurrection, he laid siege to the city in the fall of 1084. The winter was brutal, and Toledo's defenses were strong, but Alfonso's army waited them out. The siege lasted 10 months. In the wake of famine and disease, the city finally surrendered in May 1085. It was the first major conquest by a Christian army in southern Spain for over 300 years. Alarms went up through the region. Moorish leaders feared that this was the first of many invasions to come.
For everybody else, it was a waking call, because it meant that the Castilians had other ideas besides just simply collecting tribute from them.
So from 1035 to around 1212, we enter into a period in which Christians and Muslims have a kind of a stalemate.
All men must die. Why not for a good cause?
What cause of yours could be worth such torture?
The Cid.
The Cid? He is a man like other men. He will die. I will kill him.
He'll never die. Never.
You dare think of him as we think of our prophet?
We do.
Then this will be more than a battle. It will be our God against yours!
In the north, there are these Christians, these barbarians who are continuously coming down and abusing you and taking your money and attacking you. And then we have our brethren in North Africa, the Almoravids, but they are incredible in their fanaticism. They are fanatics about religion. And the Muslims in Iberia have been corrupted. You all know that. You go to Madrid and the only thing you do is go for tapas. You don't learn anything. The only thing you do is drink there all the time, right? So the Muslims, we are sitting in Andalusia, in Seville, they are drinking, they are depicting the human figure, they are having a ball. Christians in the north, these crazies in North Africa, what do we choose here? When the Almoravids come in 1086 and defeat Alfonso VI and put this kind of a barrier or stop the Christians, the Muslims within Iberia will also have to jump over the hoop. Of course, the Almoravids will become corrupt as well, because after a few years, there's too much good wine and too many olives to eat and things like that. Why be so sort of fanatic and religious about these things? So they will be replaced by another group called the ALMOHADS. In 1212, there is a very big battle, the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa, which is a great turning point, because it is very clear after 1212 that the Christians are on top. And when the Christians are on top, the life of the Muslims became harsher and more difficult. This coincides also with important mental changes that are occurring throughout Western Europe. and which are the paradigm of this is, of course, the Four Lateran Council of 1215, in which the Church and Northern Church begins to, in a sense, try to segregate Jews and Muslims from Christian society. Jews are forced to wear an identifying mark. Muslims are expected to wear some kind of haircut that will identify them. So in a sense, what you are talking about here is a great Christian military triumph paralleled by changes in mentality that are triggered by the need of people in Europe, or by the fact that during this period in Europe, people are developing a kind of discourses of self-identification, identities. And when you engage in discourses of self-identification, you are also engaging in discourses against another. I am a Christian because I am not a Jew. I am a Christian because I am not a Muslim. And essentially what you're creating is two separate societies. So there are two great and important things that are taking place in Iberia. One, the military superiority of the Christians. Two, these mental changes that will affect Jews as well. Between 1260s and 1492, that we have a situation in which the Christians could control Granada, but are unable to do so for two reasons. One, because they are torn by internal problems, and two, because Granada is a very difficult place to take.
And so what they started doing was they started picking one emir against the next emir. They said, look, we'll give you 10 cookies if you go against that one there. And then that guy, he sold out. And that's when you started seeing them. They started falling victim, selling themselves out to jealousy, envy, greed, and hatred, right? And going off killing the other Moors, the other Moorish kings, and so forth, saying, well, I could get his kingdom and his castle if I get up with these people. And all the while, the same devil that sat up there and whispered in his ear to help him go kill his brother, all right, now they just sat up there, and after you helped them do that, now they got you and him enslaved, and so forth. And these people didn't even realize that until after.
Defendeos de los cristianos y preparaos para luchar hasta la muerte.
Vuestra locura no ha hecho más que acelerar nuestro final. Encerradlo en su alcoba.
¡No! ¡No! ¡Traidor! ¡Cobarde! ¡Viva el día que nacisteis de mi vientre!
Salid y lo pagaréis con vuestra vida.
Granada, the last bastion of Islam, is now in Christian hands.
Yeah, Indians, niggers, same thing.